your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. So Jesus sees people following him, and he asks, what are you looking for? Seems to me there were a lot of possible answers. They were under Roman rule. They could have been looking for relief from their government. They could have been looking for basics, food, clothing, shelter. They could have been looking for vengeance or truth or justice. They could have been looking for knowledge, understanding, or wisdom. We all look for these things at times. If Jesus asked me now, what are you looking for? I might be tempted to say a little relief. Relief from all the politics, the tragedy, even the busyness of everyday life. According to Christian Century, following Jesus may result in your best life now, but not without thoroughly messing with your sense of what best means. Jesus would not have responded to my desires in the way that I might have expected or hoped for, instead of taking away grief and stress, changing election results, making my job easier. My response to his question was the wrong one. The disciples' response initially seems like an avoidance of the question. Jesus asks, what are you looking for? And they say, teacher, where are you staying? It's as though they can't articulate their needs. Yet somehow they get at the heart of the question by attempting to initiate relationship. They also recognize him as rabbi, with the implicit attitude of being willing to learn. Jesus' response to their question, come and see, effectively accepting the relationship. This will be experiential. They are called to come and see. It is not an intellectual argument or even an answer in the usual sense of the word. As it turns out, our best life now is not one of ease and repose. On the radio this week, I heard someone discussing the basics of etiquette and the overarching principle. It is never about you. The right answer to what are you looking for is the obtuse response, teacher, where are you staying? The response our hearts want Jesus to give from that question is, come and see. As a congregation, we've been strongly affected by Stephen's illness and untimely death. And I'm glad so many from Spirit of the Wilderness were able to get to the memorial. We've done our best to stand by Mary Ellen and Suzanne in their grief as we face our own. By all accounts, he lived fully and authentically and died well. Yet, it is unavoidable to grieve, even witnessing the pain of someone we love. Compassion has no answers, only presence. Our wider community is also dealing with the recent accidental death of a young man in a snowmobile accident. I was involved in the trauma call and stood in the middle of the immense grief of the extensive family and friends who were gathered. I did not make it to that funeral, but I'm sure it was large and there were lots of interconnections. I'm reminded of physics class and studying waveforms. I don't know if any of you have seen or dealt with a wave tank before, but it basically is a sheet of water, and there's a point that disturbs the water, and it makes waves. And this single point then is additional points are added to that, and the waves bounce off each other, and they bounce off the walls. And then if you place a barrier in there somewhere at some angle, it changes the whole pattern. The idea is to calculate frequency, identify patterns and interactions. I was never very good at this. I could appreciate the beauty and the complexity, but the analysis often eluded me. I have similar difficulties with the complexities of social waves and interactions. In the face of so much grief, so many relationships that I did not completely understand, that night all I could do was stand there. The temptation to run and hide, to find something else to do, was immense. I don't think I was particularly effective at it, but I sought the balance between being there and giving space. As best I could, I nailed my feet to the floor and stood, available for questions and asking those I needed to ask. There were forms to be completed and calls to be made, and secretly I was thankful for some paperwork. An uncommon situation. As a doctor, this is one of the hardest parts of my job. Finding balance when I am not family in any sense of the word, and when my own balance is akimbo. My role is official, yet there is personal connection, however limited. I had seen Gunnar and recognized many of the family members and friends in attendance. Even after 40 years in medicine, my discomfort in these situations is deep. But it is never about me. God calls us not to comfort, but to life. And like it or not, part of life is death. It is Paul who says, "In every way you have been enriched by him, in speech and knowledge of every kind, so that you are not lacking in any spiritual gift as you await the revealing of our Lord Jesus Christ. He will strengthen you to the end." Strengthen. We are not given relief, but strength. And this is part of our enrichment. But all is not death and grief. We also celebrate a new life within our congregation. I was hoping that Sarah and her beautiful new boy, Reese, would be here today. I don't know if they made it last week. But we do welcome Reese into our congregation, letting him and enjoying him becoming a part of us. And we've had good times this year as well. Our involvement with Ruby's Pantry, Empty Bowls, Good Samaritan Fund, and other outreach, of many of which I have not mentioned, has enlivened us. We've celebrated liturgy together. We have made connections through Mary Ellen to South Africa and vicariously enjoyed her sabbatical, as well as getting a better idea of our own abilities and limitations. We have connected with each other through liturgy, prayer, conversations, small group meetings, and just being there for each other. The psalmist says, "How great are your wonders and your plans for us. In the roll of the book it is written concerning me, I love to do your will, O my God." We at Spirit of the Wilderness have met many challenges, and we are in our own way, shining as a light to the world. We have invited mystery, and it has come to dwell with us. The compassion we embrace has been in the forefront, and our encounter with Christ, life-changing. But we are not done. We have our annual meeting after church today. It's comforting to know, as another quote from Christian Century states, that we are not the tour guides. We are the ones being led. Next year, who knows what lies in store. Today, at our meeting, we will not so much plan the future as polish the arrow, to be ready, to begin to choose how we respond to God's gracious gifts. I am thankful for the opportunity to have served this congregation as your senior warden, and I look forward to ongoing involvement with the Bishops' Committee and in the life of this congregation. I thank you all for being the Christians that you are.